So I am sure that this 200QX can hold this GoPro and fly around at a decent speed. So I'm going to figure out how to get it working with the least amount of weight as possible.
Team Baxter.
I'm going to use a piece of Lexan, pretty thick, 0.80 thickness. I'm going to use a couple of non-stick pads for non-stick purposes and for hopefully a little bit of vibration reduction. And I'm going to use some thin Velcro to hold the GoPro down. All this stuff doesn't weigh particularly a lot. Probably the heaviest part of my setup will be the sheet of Lexan, which will be roughly the size of the GoPro. And that's about it. I'm going to cobble this together freestyle, so I'll be checking back in and showing what I'm doing as a part. Basically, the large non-stick pad will go under the camera as sort of an anti-vibe and kind of hold the camera still. The Velcro will be holding the camera down. Camera will be needed to be activated by the app or the remote. If I use the app, I'll have to turn the Wi-Fi off before I actually leave the ground, but that shouldn't be much of an issue. And then use these non-stick pads to hold the edges to the skids of the quad. Gonna use zip ties to hold this platform to the quad. It's the most steady, secure, and removable thing I can think of at this point. So get started cutting up the Lexan and then I'll come back. Finally got the first plastic piece cut. I kind of eyed it. It's about 1.5 inches by close to 4 inches. It's the width of the QX. So from here I'm going to go ahead and start attaching my skids, non-skids, and drilling a couple holes. It's pretty sturdy. I don't expect it to do a lot of wobbling once I get it attached. So I'm going to run 4 of these pads, 1 on each corner, and those will attach to the feet. And then I'm going to center this pad. Do all that before I start drilling holes for the zip ties. And that'll be the mount. And then I'll run a little weight on it and see how much it weighs in addition to the GoPro. So I've got the non-skids put on. They're stuck on pretty good, and that's where roughly I think they need to be. The camera doesn't move on this one, so that's good, and I put a kind of a rough idea where I wanted to get the Velcro straps to go. So got that all marked up along with the forward facing arrow, so I know which direction is which. I'm going to drill these holes and get these slots cut out with my Dremel. So made this little mount out of a piece of Lexan and a few non-stick pads. Piece of Velcro through it. Pull it down tight. And I have a GoPro mount for my 200QX. Now the GoPro's a little heavy. I've tried this once before. Secure this with zip ties to the 200 frame. Doing all this before I install the battery. Let me get the GoPro as centered as possible. The lens is going to be off a little bit. That's the nature of the GoPro, having the side, the lens on the side. I mean, that's all way all cameras are, but so I've got holes in this mount. strap it on with zip ties. I use zip ties because it's the most secure method that I could think of. I would definitely prefer something releasable, but in that same aspect, I like the security of the straps, because for the simple fact that they won't come off. And this is an application where I don't want them to accidentally come off. So I got one on. It's a little tricky trying to get it through that hole there that I've got drilled on the bottom. Let's get that in on both sides. Kind of get it centered up where I want it. Then pull the zip ties tight. And the non-stick pads are going to kind of stop it from moving around once I get the zip ties tightened down. So I'm ready for flight now. So I think my mount worked pretty good. It holds the GoPro pretty securely with the Velcro strap. The GoPro is not going anywhere. The only thing that I would say is maybe that I need to put 2 more slots the other way so that I can mount cameras and other accessories across the other way. This way of mounting is very GoPro specific. And I'm thinking that with other cameras I could lay them down and strap across the other way, just to give me a little bit more flexibility with the mount. But as you can see, this isn't going anywhere. Shake it pretty good, and this is more than the 200 will ever do to it. I also have an older camera here. This is a 808 car keys camera, and just for instance, with the way I have it, the Velcro strap in there right now, it won't work with this 808 camera. But if I put the Velcro straps on the sides, then I could strap this 808 car keys camera down. And this doesn't shoot the best video, but it does well enough, and it shoots video that I use in certain situations. So this is a pretty good camera to use, and would work pretty well with this mount, and would put less stress on the helicopter being much lighter than the GoPro is. So just another option there. There's also the Mobius and several other smaller cameras that could fit on this mount with the proper restraints. So that's my 200QX GoPro mount, camera mount.